campaign with Indian Americans at senior levels, which of course includes the top of the heap. Our dear friend will be the first Indian American vice president in the history of the United States of America, Kamala Harris.
I hope you choose to put the country in the path of growth, hope, love and light. Vote for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
Hello friends, this November don't forget to vote for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
Biden की जीत हो कि हार हा कोई बाइडन से जीत न पावे चले चलो
அனைவரின் எதிர்காலம் சிறப்பாக அமைய வருகின்ற அதிபர் தேர்தலில்
ஜோ பைடன் அவர்களுக்கும்
கமலா ஹாரிஸ் அவர்களுக்கும் वाक्कलिंगल
अमेरिकेचा नेता कसा असावा?
जो बायडन सारखा असावा.
आपला नेता केवा होय जो बायडन आणि कमला हॅरिस जेवा होय
వచ్చే ఎన్నికల్లో మనందరం జో బైడెన్ కమలా హారిస్ కి ఓటేద్దాం గెలిపిద్దాం గో బైడెన్ గో కమలా.
I get to vote for the first time this year in a presidential election and I'm so excited to vote for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
I will be voting for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
अमेरिकन इमिग्रेंट्स फ्यूचर बाउंडाले అంటే జో బైడెన్ కి యాజ్ अ प्रेसिडेंट का वोट देंगे.
अमेरिका का प्रेसिडेंट कैसा हो?
जो बायडन जैसा हो.
Why Joe Biden? Because he supports immigrants.
And we should support him too.
Vote for Biden.
ਅਸੀਂ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਕੀਮਤੀ ਵੋਟ ਜੋ ਬਾਈਡਨ ਔਰ ਕਮਲਾ ਹੈਰਿਸ ਨੂੰ ਦਿਓ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਜੋ ਬਾਈਡਨ ਸਟੈਂਡਸ ਫॉर
நானும் என் குடும்பத்தினாரும் எங்கள் வாக்குகளை ஜோ பைடனுக்கும் கமலா ஹாரிஸுக்கும் ஓடுகின்றோம்.
Biden is true best friend of India and Indian Americans. Vote for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
It is imperative that each and every one of us go out and vote for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris come November.
Media viewers, this is Hema Malini and today our star guest, we are like a beautiful guest today to our media, like Mr. Ajay Jain Bhutoria. Like before we introduce him, like I'd like to say a few words about him. Like Mr. Ajay Jain Bhutoria is an American tech entrepreneur in Silicon Valley. Mr. Bhutoria is on the National Finance Committee for current presidential candidate Mr. Joe Biden and has been instrumental in bringing together the issues of Asian Americans to forefront. Mr. Bhutoria also serves on the Asian American Pacific Islander Leadership Council of Biden and working on bringing together the Asian Americans to vote for Biden in the 2020 general elections. He worked closely with Biden on the Oakland College Promise Program to bring free community college for the African American community in Oakland. Mr. Bhutoria previously worked on the National Finance Committee for Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign in 2016 and where he raised between $500,000 to $1 million for Clinton's election. And Mr. Bhutoria, the author of the book 100 Life Management Tools for a Happy Life, where he talks about how readers can tap into their own emotional intelligence to create a happiness for themselves. And today we are so happy to welcome Mr. Ajay Jain Bhutoria to our Ishita Media USA. Hello, sir.
Thank you so much, Hema Malini and Keshav for having me here. I'm so grateful.
Yes, sir. How are you today?
I'm doing good. I mean, I see the pictures of horses in your background. I was actually doing a horse ride, taking some break and on the beach. So it was fun. It's a nice day.
Yeah, good, sir. Good. Yes, sir. Mr. Bhutoria, in 2020, the world has turned chaotic with the COVID situation, the election, judiciary, and other social issues. And could you provide some tips on how to swim through these tough times?
I think this is one of the most challenging time our country and the world has faced. It's unprecedented time and this requires unprecedented leadership. And our country is going through many dimensions of challenges. It's going through health crisis with the COVID challenge. It's going through financial and economic crisis. We have around 230,000 people died, almost 8 million cases, and 8% of unemployment rate, which is growing up. A lot of small businesses are shutting down, and there are a lot of people who make, the minimum wages. They are struggling whether they will be evacuated or whether will be able to keep their houses or whether they bring the food on the table. So this is huge amount of crisis. On top of it, people have been staying at home, kids and families, and this is leading to mental health crisis. So in this time of crisis, we need a leader who can help us lead out of this mess and lead us into growth, prosperity, and also restore the leadership of America in the world stage, which has completely declined. And that leader is Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, who will lead us into future of growth and prosperity and take us out of the crisis which Donald Trump has put us into.
Yeah. Thank you so much, actually, for the beautiful reply, actually. And we have been seen Joe Biden following the COVID-19 guidances for the scientists and doctors, and also being very mindful of maintaining social distancing and wearing masks outdoors. And it shows great leader responsibility, actually. From your perspective, can you share how differently would the Joe Biden administration will handle the pandemic if they win the 2020 presidential election?
I mean, you are already, as you said in your last few lines, already you have seen that right from March or January onward, Joe Biden said that we need to follow the science. We need everybody to wear the mask. We need to, initially he called for national lockdowns and national mask mandate, and he's guided by a group of scientists and co-led by Dr. Vivek Murthy, who was a past Surgeon General in Obama administration. So he gets inputs from all the scientific community and the medical team, which is advising, and they have developed a very solid plan from day one. Joe Biden has always said that we need to manage the COVID crisis first, and then we need to open the economy. For Trump, it has been that the stock market is, for him, is the indicator of the economy, which has nothing to do. In the last few weeks, we saw that even the COVID crisis is increasing, even the job market is increasing, stock market is keep going up because the treasury is buying the stock and there's a huge manipulation. So stock market is not indicator. Only we saw that, the billionaires have made more than 300 billion during this crisis, while the poor are struggling, and they're struggling to pay their bills and everything. So Joe Biden has a solid plan, which he will deliver after the election and get us out of this mess.
Yeah, good. Actually, could you please share with us your contribution towards the 2020 election?
Well, I mean, all of us, every citizen has one of the biggest contribution is to vote. So my ballot is lying on my table. I'm going to vote. But beyond that, I mean, I've been involved with the campaign since day one. I have known Joe Biden and President Obama for many years now, and I was always believed in him, and he's going to be our next president. So since day one of the election, I've been with him through Iowa, through New Hampshire, South Carolina, and then we saw everything come together, and he got nominated. And now we are on 1 month away from winning or 25 days away from winning the election. One of the most important challenge for me is that the elections are decided in the United States what happens in the battleground states of Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Florida, and to a certain extent Arizona, Nevada, and this time maybe Texas. So last time in 2016, when working with Hillary Clinton's campaign, we lost the campaign election by 70,000 votes. 10,000 votes in Michigan, and then Wisconsin and Pennsylvania combined together 70,000 votes. Now, if we look at the South Asian Indo-American population in general, There are 1.3 million people living in these battleground states. They come from all kind of profession, in IT profession, in small businesses, doctors, all kind of professions. I mean, and these people and our Indo-American votes are going to make a huge difference. There are almost around 100,000, Indo-American voters in Michigan. Some similar number in Pennsylvania and Wisconsin and in Arizona. So our effort is, last few months is dedicated to make sure that each of us, South Asian voters, turn out and vote for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. So how do we achieve that? So we said that, people say that, South Asian voters, sometimes they don't come out and vote. But I ask them, have we tried enough to reach to them? So why not reach out to them in their own language? So we started with a digital campaign of America Ka Neta Kaisa Ho, Joe Biden Jaisa Ho. Simple digital campaign in 14 Indian languages: Tamil, Telugu, Punjabi, Kannada, Malayali, Nepali, Urdu, Bengali, you name it, Marathi. And we reached out, and that was a viral success. That the community felt that for the first time that they're connected. And in a presidential campaign, when you see a graphic in Telugu or Tamil or Kannada, you feel very pride that the Joe Biden campaign is reaching out to them in Tamil and Telugu, and their voice matters, their votes matter, and they're very important to this election and to every election. And they say they have a seat on the table, and the campaign is listening to them. So then we went to the next step, which was producing a South Asian viral video, which had people from our community sending the message why they are voting for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris in Kannada, in Telugu, in Tamil, and that people loved it. I mean, it was first time ever. And so we went on with our more digital campaigns, and this was widely covered with every news media in the country. And our idea was that people still get their news from NDTV, Republic TV, and TV9 and every other media in India. So when these media started covering this coverage of language and connection, this went viral, and people get more and more involved. Now we have organizations like Desi Blue and South Asians for Biden, who have like more than 3,000 to 5,000 grassroots, dedicated supporters who are reaching out and doing phone banking and text banking in Punjabi, in Tamil, in Telugu, and telling the voters what Joe Biden means to them, what Kamala Harris means to them, and what they will do for Indo-Americans, South Asians, and India. So that's what we have been working towards. And I've been on the National Finance Committee, working, raising money, which is definitely needed to fund the campaign.
Yeah. Oh, wow, it's like very detailed explanation. Thank you so much for the awesome reply, actually. And millions of Indians are on a temporary visa and facing uncertainty with their green cards due to the long time, actually.
Yep.
Does the Biden campaign have any real like a relief towards addressing the visa issues?
Absolutely. So beyond photo opportunities, Trump administration has not done much for Indo-Americans or India. He went to Howdy Modi event. He went to Gujarat, and then he had a huge event, and there are photo opportunities, and which was that's all. But he has banned the H-1 visa. There's a bill out there which will remove the OPT for F-1 visa, which students coming in, they can no longer have OPT option to work for 3 years or 2 years on OPT. He has put the green card backlogs, I heard that up to 50 to 70 years. So people cannot imagine having a green card, and the life, they cannot make the decisions through what they want to stay here or go back, or there's a lot of uncertainty. He has, recently in the second debate and in the first debate, he said, we cannot trust India's COVID numbers. He immediately put that, the government of India, what they're putting the COVID and how they're managing it, we cannot trust them like China and Russia, which was a slap on India. Yep. There's on and on I can say what he has not done, but what Joe Biden will do is huge difference. I mean, Joe Biden said from day one, he will increase the quota for H1 as per the business and the industry and the country needs. Joe Biden said that he will streamline the green card process in first 100 days, and he will, take out the India, which is tied to quota buys for green card by country, into a general pool. What that means is that if today, I don't know the exact number, if it's let's say 20,000 green card per year for India, they will put in the general pool, which means that whatever the unlimited number of or limited number of general pool green cards are there, if based on your priority and everything, you are eligible for that, which will reduce the green card processing by many years and will rapidly increase for chances of people having the green card. He said that people graduating from masters in US will get a much faster green card. He said that he will streamline the process for F1 visas and educational, bring more opportunities for education in US. He also said that he does not tolerate terrorism in South Asia, which means that he's or from bordering nations. He is going to stand with India against China, and he is going to restore relationships in all other countries, so that will help advance. He said that India is a strong partner which both mutually benefits India and US. Is going to lead the trade deal which he and Obama laid the foundation for $500 billion trade deal in next 10 years, and he's going to advance.
Wow, good. It's like very like nice actually, and like diplomatic relationship between India and USA has been growing strongly actually. What is your opinion on how will the relationships going to improve between Joe Biden and Mr. Narendra Modi administrations?
You know what? Yeah,
Yeah.
if you remember the Prime Minister, there was a strong relationship. The foundation was laid by Obama and Biden during the last two administration between Prime Minister Modi. Prime Minister Modi visited for many times during Obama-Biden administration to the White House. The first Diwali event was celebrated by Obama-Biden in the White House, and then first Sikh event, first Jain event, first Muslim Eid events. Eid events continue to be celebrated. And then Obama was the chief guest in Republic Day celebration in India, and they laid the foundation for trade deal, and they laid the foundation for India getting the weapons which were needed for F-35 or all the aircrafts and everything, which Trump never had allowed them to give it to India, and so bilateral relationship at all levels, people to people, business to business, industry to industry, grew up in Obama-Biden administration and will flourish under Biden-Harris administration. It will only going to grow further. The two democracies are going to work closer. It will not just be photo shoot opportunities, but it will be concrete results which will be brought into. Today, these two democracies are going to, have to work together more from the global security and everything else. So Biden said that he's going to support India to get a United Nations Security Council seat, which nobody else has supported. So there are a lot of things which are going to happen, and the relationship is going to flourish and grow more.
Yeah, but as you know, the recently that Narendra Modi administration was upset with Joe Biden's views on Kashmir, CAA, and the NRC Act.
There's a lot of disinformation out there, and because of this disinformation, first of all, there's no written statement that Modi was upset, or there's nothing out there. I know a lot of our community members were upset, and I got thousands of messages and phone calls and WhatsApp messages and everything. I heard them, I listened to them, and because of that, we reached out to the leadership of the Biden campaign team, and we organized an event on 15th August where we had a video message from Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, and we released the India fact sheet, which is the first presidential campaign which has done so. If you Google Joe Biden India fact sheet, you will find it. It will be the first thing come up on that. Everyone should read that fact sheet. It lays out exactly what everything Biden and Harris administration will do for Indo-Americans and to flourish the relationship with India. It completely outlines each and every item. So let's not go by all the disinformation spread by various divisive forces. Kashmir is an internal matter of India, and India has taken the right steps. to what they need to do and what they are doing. And elections are not run on or hold on foreign policy. Elections are run on what is important first, on domestic issues. What is important to my children, or your children, or our community? I mean, we want them to be having a safeguard. I cannot let my children watch the Donald Trump speech because the kind of language he uses, right? I need
Yes.
an inspiring president. If I
Exactly.
if he watches, then what is going to learn? How to hate, how to spread fear, how to say, cheap language and vulgar
Yeah.
language? No, that is not what we as Indians, our values and our ethics and our society are. We are grown up in a very way where we value our culture, we value our children's family is first to us. And so we have to
Yes.
look at how our families are going to be impacted or impacted if 4 more years of Trump continues, or benefit if Biden-Harris administration comes. Everybody knew that, oh, Obama, we want our kids to be inspired by Obama. Same way, Biden-Harris. I mean, look at Harris is going to be the first Indo-American president. We can tell our kids, if you work hard in this country, if you inspire to be, you can be the vice president or president in your
Yeah.
in your lifetime. So those are the inspiring role models we want, and that's why we want Biden Harris.
Yeah. So, how could Indian American citizen and non-citizen contribute towards this campaign?
Everybody, we need every hand, everyone. I mean, there's a lot of phone bankings going on. If you
Yeah.
for now, I don't have the link, but if you go to South Asians for Biden,
Hmm.
there, and you can Google, and you can see a lot of phone banking opportunities. So what we need your help is that you can uh, pick up the phone banking, and call your friends, neighbors, your people in Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Florida, Texas, Arizona, Nevada, and say, why do you believe that Joe
Hmm.
Biden Harris should be the next president, and why, and explain to them why they should vote for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. If each of you can, reach out to as many people as, then, we will win this election. So we need all your help, and please, if you have any problem in getting into the phone banking, you can
Hmm.
reach out to me, Ajay Jain Bhutoria, on my Facebook, and message me. I always reply to that. Or reach out to through Keshava or through Isita Media and Hemamalni, and then they can connect me with you.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much for the information, actually. And I think people would have noted the thing what you have said in the
Right.
thing, the link as well as the
Right, it's very
message.
important. I mean, each of us, please reach out to spend even 1 hour a day
Hmm.
calling your friends and neighbors, and people in all these battleground states, and make them vote for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. And it's such an honor to see Kamala Harris as a vice president candidate for 2020 elections.
Right.
She has mentioned like several times about her Indian ancestry. Could you please give us some insight on how she could help the Indian and African community, like the facial racial issues, please?
Absolutely. I mean, it's such a matter of pride, Senator Kamala Harris being the first Indo-American and Black and woman candidate for vice president. And she did a phenomenal job in the second debate. And we clearly saw a leader who was ready to lead the nation as vice president, I mean, in the debate. And so, I've known Senator Kamala Harris for many years, since her days as Attorney General of California, then as a senator, and so she has always been a voice for voiceless. She has always been fighting for the middle class. She has been always fighting for racial justice, environmental justice, justice for middle class people, criminal justice. I know that she's smart on crime, which means that a lot of young people from African American community, they drop out from high school because their immediate needs, economic needs, they have to work in other jobs, and then they fall in these gangs, or in the criminal acts, and then they go to uh, jail, and where they meet bigger criminals, and then they learn more of the art of crime, and they become more and more criminals. So how do you help them get out of this vicious cycle and help them put in the path of getting jobs and succeeding in life? That's what she did it many years back as smart on crime, so that they break this cycle of crime, getting into criminal acts and going back and back to the jail, but get out of that and get a job and get progress in life. She has been, we have seen systematic racism in this country, whether everybody of us, felt the real pain of African American community when George Floyd or many others were brutally murdered on the street, open, it was by police or, and there's a racial profiling, and we cannot stand, silently. We want to work closely and hand in hand with our African American brothers. And that is what also Gandhiji taught to us. I mean, when someone is going through this injustice, you have to stand for that. And so Indian community is solidly with that. And Kamala Harris understands that. And Joe Biden and Kamala Harris has a plan to address this at multi-level, at systemic racism, to open opportunities and job growth of jobs for the African American community and every community, and to redesign and the police force and how the profiling is being done. So there's a lot of things which we'll see happening, which Kamala Harris will lead.
Thank you so much, actually. And do you have any new book coming on our way about your experience in the election campaigns?
I don't know about the new book on campaign. It's a little, let's get done with it, and then we probably think about it. And but this election, I've seen that there's a huge involvement of the Indo-American community and South Asian community, which is very, very, which is only going to grow. We are seeing a lot of people are running from all school boards to city councils to Congress and Senate and everywhere. So this is a growth which is going to grow only.
Yeah, if you like to share a few words to our Ishita Media USA, what you like to share, sir?
I will share some few words from my book on happiness. At the end of the day, we all want to be happy, and we want to live in the present time and be happy. And one of the reasons for our, we are going through so much pain is every day we see thousands, hundreds of tweets from this tweeter, Donald Trump, and which is creating divisiveness and hate in our community. So at least from January 2020, we want to have a president who can lead us into love, light, growth, and happiness. And that's Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. So I request everyone, please vote for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Not only vote, please call your friends and family members and to vote for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. And thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, sir. Thank you so much for a valuable time, and it's like a pleasant to have you here for this interview in our Ishita Media USA, and wish you all the best for your future endeavors, actually. And thank you so much, sir, for your valuable time. Actually, it's pleasant.
நீங்கள் ஆவலோடு எதிர்பார்த்திருந்த கிராண்ட் ஃபினாலே இஷிதா மீடியா ஸ்டார் வாய்ஸ் சிங்கரின் கிராண்ட் ஃபினாலே வர அக்டோபர் 31ஆம் தேதி 50 போட்டியாளர்கள் ஜப்பான், ஹாங்காங், மலேசியா, UK, US, கனடா, இந்தியான்னு பல்வேறு நாடுகளை சேர்ந்த போட்டியாளர்களும் 7 ஜூனியர் 7 சீனியர் மட்டுமே ஃபைனல்ல பங்கேற்க போறாங்க. அண்ட் இதெல்லாம் யாரு ஜட்ஜ் பண்ண போறாங்கன்னு யோசிக்கிறீங்களா? வேற யாரு, நம்ம லெஜெண்டரி சிங்கர் உன்னி கிருஷ்ணன் தான் ஜட்ஜா இருக்காங்க.
என்னவளே அடி என்னவளே எந்தன் இதயத்தை தொலைத்து விட்டே, எந்த இடம் அது தொலைந்த இடம், அந்த இடத்தையும் மறந்து விட்டே. உந்தன் கால் கொலுசில் அது தொலைந்ததென்று உந்தன் காலடி தேடி வந்தே.